bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the Speakeasy for another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with SoulJoel himself, Joel Richardson. Tonight we have two very special guests, fresh off the stage at the Melody Room, Carmen Lynch and Andrew Schiavone. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to be fresh off the stage.
Killing it. That's what you do here at SoulJoel. You do podcasts.
Yeah, that's just this is the warm up, the show.
This is the warm up. That's all it is.
This is the main arena, feature.
Carmen, I wanted to talk to. So I told her off camera, like she started to plug herself, and she speaks Spanish.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. And before, I don't want to talk about. Oh yeah, you got all the questions. But but before the pandemic, I was listening to her on a show, and the host was like, you could tell, was like, so Carmen, you're Latina, and like asked her perspective. She's like, no, I'm Spanish. He's like, so anyway.
He just crosses it off a list. Moving on.
Yeah, like re-ask what I said. It's to Carmen. I'm like listening to the show. It was almost like, should I just leave now? Am I not supposed to be here? Like, I'm not going to give you a Latina
Do I not check your
perspective.
boxes?
I'll be Latina. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. They obviously wanted that booking.
Yeah, right, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
How was it performing Spanish? Like, because I can the audiences. Like, is it harder for you to like gauge the audience or like then start speak? Can you think in both?
I think in both, but I have to think harder in Spanish.
Oh, really? Like no crowd work? Like you're not thinking?
I can do crowd work, but I just have to focus more because I don't use it every day.
Right.
So I have to really pay attention.
Right.
And it sounds like I'm not paying attention in English, but it's almost like I just did a 45-minute set in Spain.
Right.
And I felt like I was studying for a test because there's certain words I don't use a lot. And then also when I do it in New York, I'm around Latinos and their vocabulary isn't always the same.
Right.
And in Spain, it's like Castilian, and there's certain words that the Latinos don't use.
Their accent.
Yeah, but also just words in general.
Oh,
their
right.
vocabulary.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had to bring back all these old words. You know, and plus I lived there till I was 8, so sometimes my Spanish sound like an 8-year-old Spanish girl.
Mi gusto.
Yeah. Hola, mama.
It's like Arrested Development. You're like, that's the
Yes.
level, and it stayed there.
So it was super fun, and I know some of the words I probably say like very like just I sound like a young girl.
Yeah.
So they're laughing at me, not just with me, but some of the jokes I think they're laughing at me, and I'm like, I'll take it. I don't care.
Speaking of laughing, I loved your flyer. It was Spain, Paris, Pottstown. I mean, I appreciate it. You made us look very diversified. You're like, just going all around the world and here.
Yes.
So thank you.
Of course.
It's every travel agent, you know. Every travel agent gets those 3 requests.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, we have an airport. You're like, you do?
We have a hangar.
Dude, that's what he was. That's what he was doing at Tuesdays with Stories,
Yes.
man. You're like, what's going on with Andrew? And then all of a sudden, zing.
Bing. Yep.
You're just waiting on it.
Yeah, and I want to ask Carmen because
Okay, now go ahead. Forget the questions that Alan and I have. Andrew,
Joel,
the floor is yours.
Joel, you didn't even ask me a question. You just talked at me.
How is it doing shows in English?
Well,
Well, we were off to the races.
I grew up in Ireland, so I had to change my accent here. No, but isn't the verbs different in Spanish? Aren't the verbs the adjectives, don't they go after the noun?
Yeah, compared to English, yeah, you have to
'cause
flip them.
In English, they go before the noun.
Yeah.
So isn't that like 2 things you have to remember?
Yes.
I could never do that.
I mean, some of that is still in my head from growing up there, but
Oh, okay.
but I still flip them the wrong way all the time.
I would.
But that's what I mean by they laugh at me because I'm saying something wrong.
Oh.
I talk to my guests. You laugh at your. Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
I don't think we're doing either.
All right, we'll edit this in post.
Anyway.
Let's take it from the top. Alan.
And and welcome. So, but can you do the Spanish thing in? I know you could do it in Spain. Can you do it in the other like Latino markets?
Yes, no,
Okay.
I mostly do
The
it
Bronx.
in Spanish Harlem.
Okay.
No, anywhere like in the
Right
lower west side. We've rented like a bar, some of the other comics that speak Spanish,
Okay.
and we've done shows there.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Miami's the other place that I've done it, and then I went to Costa Rica and I did some there.
Very cool.
So yeah,
Oh, that's cool. That makes it harder too, though, because you got like New York Spanish,
Totally different.
Central America Spanish,
Yeah.
and you're European. I'm better than you Spanish.
yes,
Yeah.
with our lisp, Barcelona.
I love that.
See,
They don't wear flat brim hats either in Spain. It's popular in the Bronx.
The fedora.
yes.
Is that what they wear in Spain? Or?
I don't know. That was
No.
just a hat that I made reference to.
Oh, okay. What do they wear in Spain? What kind of hats?
They don't wear hats.
Oh,
They're
No
very
hats.
tan.
trying.
I
Oh, boy,
don't
buddy.
know.
Yeah.
They wear a sombrero.
Do they really?
That's the Spanish word for hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is weird.
This is weird.
I thought sombreros were just in Mexico, but
Wow.
don't they wear the big sombreros and then
They do,
sleep?
yes, yeah, and they sleep
Yeah.
under them, and
Oh.
siestas and all that. Yeah.
That's what I started thinking pinata, and I'm like, I think we're just talking about Cinco de Mayo, and I was like, I think we're just gonna do all of the weird stereotypes.
Everything we know about Latino culture, go.
Tacos.
Tacos, right? Thank you so much.
You have a Chihuahua?
I don't know if you guys drank, but let's do some shots of tequila because this is mind-numbing. But that's what's great about New York. I started in New York. That's why I got. But I'm not as funny as you guys. That's why I got into producing.
You started comedy in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
When?
Yeah. So we met like years ago at the. I don't want to brag, but the Village Underground. You know, Village.
Oh,
Not Village.
yes.
Village Lantern.
Oh.
Well, yes, I remember. I used to do that show. It was Amanda Bramke's show. That show?
I did Joe Pontillo and Angry Bob's
Oh,
show.
yes.
Not to brag so early into the podcast. You've been in
Yeah.
Spain. I've been to the Village Lantern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar.
Similar. Very similar. I was just barking, trying to like, you know. Yeah.
That's what I did, but I didn't do it for a guy named Angry Bob.
No.
That's who you did it for?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Angry Bob. Yeah, whatever happened to him?
I was gonna ask you.
No idea. You don't know Angry Bob?
No.
Oh
I guess
my
he went to
God.
anger management. And
Yeah.
now he's
Now he's just Bob.
but doing comedy in New York, like you just said, like going. That's what's great about it. Like you're able to do a show in Spanish, you know, for people because I thought it was hard. You have to make people laugh, and that are from Ireland and they're from North Carolina, they're from California with one joke. Like you got to be a ninja in New York. Like you can't just come to Pennsylvania. And you know they're appreciative that you're here and they're great crowds, but in New York you're like you got to work for it because the people that got barked in they
Yeah.
probably didn't even know they were going to see comedy an hour ago.
Are you talking about the Village Lantern or everywhere?
This is only about the lantern.
It really feels like you're just talking about the Village Lantern.
That's true.
Because they do get barked in at the Lantern, and that I started there too. I was the same
Yeah.
guy as you, and I'd go free comedy show. They go screw off. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I would go home all sad, and you know, but then I would bomb on stage. But then, but yeah, that was a tough room because they also got in for free. So at any moment, they're like, screw this, and they'll literally get up and leave.
I'm not going to stay for this next 10 acts.
Yeah, I'm not invested in here because I've spent no money. So they will just literally get up. I'll be talking about, hey, my mom is crazy. And then they'll just stand up, turn their back toward me, and walk out. So you had to be funny. You had to at least keep them in the seat.
It's like ninja training.
Yeah. Kind of.
Except for that whole part.
Except for the whole part I just explained. Yeah.
Alan, next question.
I want ninja training now.
Oh, I love it. One of the things I want to talk to both of you about is you guys both did really well lately in the last few years getting understanding how to use the social media stuff. There was an article I read on you in the Times, I think it was, about how you took one joke about your boyfriend and did it on one thing and then eventually tweaked it and then it blew up on, I think it was TikTok maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by this era because I'm an old school band guy. I've been playing in bands my whole life, and you know, I mean, we just stapled flyers to the local telephone poles. You know what I mean? And I was established in what I was before social media. And that wasn't going to change no matter what I did. So I'm fascinated by the people that are navigating it now, you know?
Yeah, it's, I mean, I mainly did TikTok because I was bored because there was no stand-up because of the pandemic.
Understood.
And then I just became kind of obsessed and, you know, there was nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just led to just silly jokes on, just like my face on the camera.
they're
I mean, you get
really
those.
funny.
We do those too.
Yeah.
And
It's hard.
it's hard, but it got us through the pandemic.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Are you doing a lot less of it now, or?
A lot less of those, yeah. I'm on the road a lot more now that things are open and stuff, and I think the algorithms have changed. We were talking about
Yeah.
that. It's just not the same.
That's
Yeah,
like
it's
the favorite topic of Convo, the algorithms.
Yeah, yes.
Well, how do you think they've changed?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this.
They just don't. It's not as easy to get hits anymore. You know, and it's like, is there a secret, or does anyone even know?
You have to
Like,
post Tuesday at noon.
right.
Yeah.
Like you're constantly trying different things to see what works.
And I was telling Carmen, I think the secret is now the algorithm likes like sexy voices. That's all
What? Really?
Yeah, like if you go like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" You know, I mean that's a bad example, but
It's okay. It's okay. Let's call it even. I had bad stories and setups, and
I had a bad voice.
and I wasn't talking about New York comedy in general. I love New York. It's the comedy mecca of in America. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Are you just talking about the land?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am only talking."
Because you were saying, you know how New York comedy is? You bark people in, you say, "Welcome to the Village Lantern," you seat them down.
You guys, can you talk about this with your sexy voice?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, don't worry about
The
them. It's just us,
lantern.
Andrew. It's just us in the room.
Come on, guys. Use your sexy voice.
I'm SoulJoel.
Do you guys, Gabe Malika?
Who?
Gabe.
Gabe, yeah.
Oh, I was like, oh boy, this story's gonna go nowhere.
No, I know Gabe, yeah.
And no.
So he does a one-man show in Soho or something.
So he came with Ron on, and he had videos from the year before, and I go, dude, if you don't mind, I go, post those videos because you're already here. We'll do it, and we'll post them again. I go, it can't hurt. He did it. Each video, he did 3 of them, got over 100,000 views.
Oh my God.
And he goes, I go, thank you, man. He goes, no, thank you. Apparently the algorithm says just post these video again and I'll get more views. Like, again, no explanation what you guys just said.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
we didn't change anything. They were captioned the same. He just posted them again 1 year later, and like, whatever, semi-viral, whatever you want to call it, like 100,000 in like a day.
Yeah, there's no telling. I used to make videos when pandemic first started. I used to make I used to write out a script of what to do, and I'll wear costumes, and they'd get like 2 views. And then one day I just was down in the stock market, and I talked to my phone. I'm like, "Hey, I figured out the stock market. You buy a stock, it goes down, and you sell it, it goes up. And now I want to kill myself." And that got 1 million views.
Oh my God.
And my thing exploded. People are like, "Give me stock tips, man." I'm like,
What?
"Wait, what? Did you not hear what I just said?"
Yeah. You're like, because I had the same experience with the stock market. I am terrible.
Yeah, me too. And then I had to make videos of stocks. I'm like, this is what happens. It's like me in front of a stock graph. I started doing
Oh my
that.
God, that's hilarious. Did those go viral too?
Those went viral too because that first one went viral.
But that's how dumb people are. You really got legitimate questions like, "Hey, could you give me stock tips?" You're like, "Did you watch the video?"
Yeah,
like, they didn't have to read it. Like, just watch and listen and hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and then they would be like, "What do you think of Apple?" And I'd be like, "Looks good." And they'd be like, "I can't believe you responded to me."
Like, you almost have a disclaimer.
You should be like, "I like bananas."
Right. I see what you did there.
Oh, Apple.
Oh, did you not get it?
Get it.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a ride long home.
I thought it'd just be like a random thing. I like bananas.
Boy, that ride back to New York's gonna be long.
Oh my God.
No, I got it. I got it now.
Back to Gabe. Were these comedy clips?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on stage. Yeah, just
I'm going to repost all of my old clips tomorrow.
yeah.
And tag SoulJoel.
It's also
Yeah. I don't think that was the factor, but thank
it
you.
was that. It was.
I mean, he did, but it wasn't like
And he had a sexy voice, probably.
right.
It probably was
And
that.
talk
Yeah.
stocks.
Because, he's the opener for Ronan, so he has to have a sexy voice. 'Cause
Right.
Ronan has the least opposite of sexy voice.
That's how he rolls.
Just opposite of sexy voice.
Yeah. Gabe, keep talking like this or else you're out. Cancel your future dates.
I also think it's funny because Ronan uses him as an opener. They look exactly the same, don't they?
Dudes, yeah, so yeah, but he says that on stage. He goes,
he does?
Yeah, he goes, I just have variations of me opening for because he said because I hosted, and obviously I don't look like them, but I have
Oh, so it's the three of you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yep.
Here we go.
Here we go, boy.
was
This pod is cooking. Alan, back to you.
You guys are too hard on yourself. 1 second of silence is fine.
It's okay.
Oh well, it was also the self-deprecating that Carmen was like, "Oh, here we go," and I'm like, "Oh shoot, she's not having fun."
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh,
no,
bananas.
There's some kind of rule that, like, when there's a flowy conversation, there's always a pause.
Right.
Like, I think it's 7 minutes of conversation gets
Yeah.
1 minute, and it's like, oh, there it is.
Oh yeah.
We got complimented that we let our guests talk, and I'm like, there's a fine line between letting it breathe and like, what are we going to talk about next?
I saw the panic in everyone's eyes.
Yeah, well,
What are we going to talk about now?
yeah.
Now that Ronan is over, what should we talk about?
We got another 5 at least on Rana. Well, maybe
Friday.
now's a good time to bring up your podcast, The Human Centipede,
yes.
which
The Human Centipede,
Yes.
which we started during the pandemic. Me and my boyfriend, we were stuck together, so we called it that, but it has nothing to do with the movie.
I found the name fast and I love the name.
Yes, thank you. No, it's fun. We're still doing it, and it's on Sirius on Sundays and Tuesdays on Sirius XM.
Yeah, check it out. It's really good.
So he gets stock tips, and you get questions like, "Oh, is it all about the movie?"
Right.
You're like, "No."
Yeah, we're on our
keep
100th
listening.
episode about the movie.
Riveting. And they do it twice a week.
That's great.
And then I have one in Spanish, too, in case you have Spanish listeners.
What's that one called?
The centipede human.
Well, they-
That was awesome.
oh, my God.
He's a sniper. Andrew's great.
Podría ser peor.
Ooh.
It could be worse with Luis Chateng from Venezuela.
Wait, does your boyfriend speak Spanish too?
No, this is a different guy.
A guy. Lisa Wang.
So you have 2 pod partners?
I have 2.
Same podcast. Your
What?
boyfriend with one, and then
The other one is platonic.
Nice.
What was the name again?
Podría ser peor.
Oh, okay. I got that.
What
Ray
did you
wrong.
think I said?
I don't know.
Oh, you have to tell me
Vanessa.
later.
you thought she said Vanessa?
I thought you said Vanessa Wang.
It's so not Spanish.
I know. it's
Alan, are they
confusing.
also on edibles?
Hey, it's pod night. I wait until I get home on pod night.
That's your post-pod celebration.
It's post-pod.
Esta noche on Vanessa Wang.
Boy, worlds are colliding in that one sentence. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
There we go.
Well, I got to bring up the Rush jingle, and this will appeal to anybody that likes Rush. Andrew has a video. Did you tell me you did that in high school?
No, I did with my friends
With
from high school.
friends from high school, because I didn't think it was that old. Okay.
And this is Exhibit A, what I was talking about. Me and my friends. me and my friends.
Alan, I'm glad you brought it up. Exhibit A. Go ahead.
Exhibit A, me and my friends hired a videographer for some reason. We got wigs. and
Yeah, you went all out.
We went out. My 2 friends are do music in LA, so we were like, let's do a music sketch because I was out there visiting, and we grew up on this band called Rush from the 70s, which no one our age listened to except for us because we were in a Rush band. We did Rush covers. And we released a sketch thinking it's going to blow up. And we realized everyone who likes Rush is dead. We, for some reason, just liked it. But no one else did. Except for him. I mean, he likes it, but
I'm barely alive.
he got 1,000 views and, And then I did the stock market sucks. That did way better.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the Rush is a band of nerd for nerds. They sing about Hobbit, the book.
What was their big hit? I forget.
Tom Sawyer.
Sing it, please.
Carmen also needs Exhibit A. Examples, please.
Sing it in a sexy voice.
Exhibit B.
Oh, you're so much smarter than me.
Oh.
We already had Exhibit A.
Oh yeah. Tom Sawyer goes do 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 do.
Oh yes.
She got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I thought you were messing with him. You're
At
like,
first I was, and then it clicked.
oh.
But like right after I said that, I go, no, wait, I do know that song.
I should stop being a dick to my ride home.
I should have been on Name That Tune.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming down. This has been fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
laughed a lot.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Thanks, Joel.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank
Alan,
you.
do you have
Thank
any
you.
more? I know you have a big
do.
book of questions.
I mean, let's see.
Because he kind of looks sad.
Who needs the glasses when the paper's so close to your face?
We look like Santa reading the list of who was naughty and who was not.
Well,
I got to people on my lap, but
Oh,
I
my
didn't want to be inappropriate. Yeah, I was. What Sean Banks told me last night, I looked like I was Santa on meth.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
I thought I could be thinner, but let's see what do we got. Oh, well, I talked to you about it before the show, but doing Disgusting Hawk with Jessica. I mean, you two together was. If you haven't seen this, the pod is called Disgusting Hawk. It's not on anymore, but it's one of the greatest podcasts that ever happened. Jessica Curson, and you were a guest in character as her therapist.
Yes, we did a lot of silly characters with wigs and stuff.
And watch it. Watch it. Look it up.
fun.
It's on YouTube. Watch it. It's incredible. Absolutely
Thank
incredible.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Not much of a question, I guess, more of a statement.
Yeah.
I love that he's like, talk about your podcast. Let's talk about Jessica.
So Jessica's doing well.
I tried to wrap the pod. You're like, no, Al, you got more questions, and I'm like, that was just a great way to end it on a big compliment.
About someone else.
Someone else's podcast, and
few more pages of things I like that
and she
you've
doesn't do
done.
the podcast anymore. But go
And
back
it's
to the
still
old.
bigger than our existing podcast.
But thanks guys for making the trip.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.